I accept election results, always have. Trump won and the Republicans regained control over the Senate. It remains to be seen whether they will have the trifecta by keeping control over the House, but I suspect that will be the case. It would be fair to say that Trump has a clear mandate from voters in America to pursue his agenda. He certainly made his agenda clear to anyone listening. The fact that the Republican nominee for North Carolina's governor, Mark Robinson, received over 2.2 million votes, as I previously predicted in a video, says a great deal about those now in control of the United States. I agree with the observation made by George Conway in an article that he wrote that was published in the Atlantic, and I'm quoting here, quote, "Every American knew or should have known. The man elected president last night is a depraved and brazen pathological liar, a shameless con man, a sociopathic criminal, a man who has no moral or social conscience, empathy, or remorse. He has no respect for the Constitution and laws he will swear to uphold. And on top of all that, he exhibits emotional and cognitive deficiencies that seem to be intensifying, and that will only make his turpitude worse." End quote. I'm not going to try to understand or explain it in any other way, as many pundits are trying to do now. As far as I'm concerned, that statement made by Conway is not an opinion but a fact. It doesn't accomplish anything positive to acknowledge the validity of his observation. Being factually correct means nothing when Trump and his party have political power to do whatever they want. There's really nothing that can be done to change those voters, in my opinion, and I've said that many times before, who have had 8 years or more to observe Trump's actions and words and have decided to give him another 4 years in office as president. There will be some natural results that will flow from this event. Alito and Thomas will retire within 2 years and will be replaced by much younger versions who are farther to the right. The Supreme Court will tilt so far to the right that the only comparison would be historically to the Supreme Court that issued such decisions as Plessy v. Ferguson and the Dred Scott decision and the Lochner era decisions. This will be a far right reactionary court that will take the United States back over 100 years, maybe 150. The Dobbs decision overruling Roe v. Wade will remain in effect for at least the next 3 decades. The Republican justices will overrule the gay marriage decision within 4 years, and I have a video discussing that topic. And they will renounce other prior precedent on privacy rights that were previously considered to be constitutionally protected. And aid to Ukraine will end. My response to what I cannot change, at least until the next presidential election when I can vote again and donate some money, will be simply to avoid doing anything that would put a dime in the pocket of any Trump supporter or media organization that has enabled and promoted him. That would, of course, include Elon Musk. I will not be buying any product offered by a company that advertises on Fox, OAN, or on X. There are some companies where the CEO was a high-profile and major Trump supporter, like the CEO of Goya Foods, but I cannot boycott the products made by that company since I've never bought any anyways. There was a boycott of Goya in 2020. It started by AOC, as I recall, that led to more sales as the Trumpsters responded by buying products. The boycotts of these companies will be more effective if they're done silently and are not advertised publicly to Trump supporters. That would include just refusing to buy Tesla or deleting an X account. Since I view it as unlikely Trump will be making accurate statements over the next 4 years, and currently estimate that his false and misleading statements will number somewhere in the 40,000 to 50,000 range, I am just going to ignore him. I will point out in some videos in the future when Trump does something like impose tariffs or start the mass deportation or passes a tax stimulus program that will impact the U.S. economy and my investment allocations, and that is about all I can control anyways, is how I invest my own money. I have previously discussed Trump's proposed tariff increases, which are regressive taxes that will be paid by his supporters when they're implemented, and the mass deportation of U.S. consumers who fill vital roles in the supply chain, as those kind of policies will increase inflation. And that is important to me, particularly in how I allocate my bond portfolio, which is very extensive. Trump's proposal to eliminate the taxes on Social Security benefits and other tax proposals like eliminating the wage taxes on overtime and tips will negatively impact the Social Security and Medicare funds and will lead to the bankruptcy of the Social Security Trust Fund within three years earlier than previously estimated. And the estimate now is 2033, as I recall. I did a video on that subject. When the Social Security Fund doesn't have enough funds, basically, to meet existing obligations, the law requires automatic cuts in the benefits, and those cuts might be as much as 30% if nothing is done to replace the funding erased by Trump's tax proposals. That will be no problem for me. I don't depend on Social Security benefits at all. But it will be a problem for those who need every dime to meet their current expenditures levels, and for those who do not pay federal income tax, and that's almost 45 to 50% of the American population, the tariff tax will be a substantial increase in their taxes, and they will not even know that they're paying it. I think Trump said that they won't even know, which is correct. They won't even know that their taxes have been raised $1,400 or $1,600 by his tariff proposals. So those are the kind of topics that I will discuss here in videos when and if Trump's talk turns to actions. I will be cutting my discretionary spending in 2025 by at least $5,000. I will be buying some products that I do not currently need this year while Biden is still president, even though I will not use them until 2025 or even later.